Alright, let's start turn one of Combat by Compass Games. Introductory Scenario 4, here they come. Um, our impulse sheet looks as follows. We have, set that one up, might help. Looks like it'll be red, Charlie, and blue. Alright, so in our orders, I gotta assign orders to our guys, and I should have done that before I did their guys. My guys are simple though. I'm just doing aimed fire on everyone because it's a defense, so that's a no-brainer. Not rapid, aimed. The -2 penalty for dark is going to be bad enough. I don't want to do that. All right, now enemy card and orders. We've already done that. That's what I get for not having my sequence of play out. Let's do performing actions as required. Then we'll make spotting checks, and then we'll choose to duck back if we need to. And this is all for red on their part of impulse one. He's in his evade 6-5. 6 brings him down to here. He can attempt to spot. We have a range of 5. Hmm. He can attempt to spot him. He can attempt to spot him, not him, and not him. So he's got a 4, and they're firing from a foxhole. So, 4 +1 at a range of 4 if he has a range of 4. And firing from a foxhole is a -2. So let's see, 3, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he's only getting the -2. So he needs a 0 or 2 to spot either one of them. And of course, I forgot. Make all these hidden. And we need to make these hidden too. Alright, so at a range of 5, he needs a 2 to. We'll do Kowalski first. Doesn't see him, and Lozano second. Does not see him. Next red, evading 6-5. He's headed for the trees. Can't, 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 and can't. So he can't see anybody. Alright, down here, evade 6. And he will attempt to see if he can see anybody. No with the rocks, no with the rocks, yes, and no, because of the hill. So you get a 4, again, same thing. Range of, needs a 0 or 2 to see Lozano. Does not see him. Last but not least, we have an evade 6. He comes down here. He can attempt to see. He can attempt to see Connor. He can attempt to see Lozano. He can attempt to see Kowalski, but Stubbs is out of range. So he can attempt to see these 3. Same thing. He's a 4, needs 2. So we're going to go Kowalski first. Lozano. He sees Lozano. Lozano is now spotted. And Connor. Connor's not spotted. That's red turn, impulse 1. Or red impulse 1. Now it is our turn. Charlie. And we had drawn. I can speak English, it's just my first language. Roll on the friendly event table, which in this scenario is illumination. So we're going to go in and get the illumination here. The player may choose to place an illumination marker in either 1304, 1309. I like 1309. 1606, no way, because that's going to be on us. 1609, same thing, and then 1807. Why in hell would I want to do that? So we're going to go ahead and put that in. I'm thinking 1309 looks better. It's a little bit better in range. So we're going to bring a star shell down, put that in 1309. And then we're going to roll for scatter. This will be 1 dice 6 minus 2. That's a 4, of course. Hexes in a random direction. And that goes in direction 6, 2, 4. Of course. And that's going to make it easier for the Germans to spot me. And that's the way this scenario seems to always work. Alright. Move that a little bit better centered. Alright. Okay, so we can do some spotting here anyway. Stubbs can attempt to see. He can't see. He can't see. He can't see. Can't see. Can't see because of the range. Kowalski, he can attempt to see. He can attempt to see him. He's I think all five of them are evading. Yes, they are. So it's a matter of evading in the open, or I have two in the trees. Evading in the open is +1. The guys in the trees will be -1. All are at a range of 5 right now, so it'll just be a plus or a -1. Kowalski's going to tend to spot him in the open. Kowalski's a 5. That's a +1. Need a 6. 3. Oh, forgot the spot. They should have had a -2 too. That was my house rule. He didn't get spotted. That was my house rule. As long as they're in darkness, it's a -2. So he needed a 654, but he got a 3. That's good. So he spots Soldat Haas coming up with a car 98 and a grenade. He's a recruit. Kowalski will also see if he cannot spot him because of the trees. Him neither because of the trees and distance. Him because of the rocks. They got a 1 hex. And him, he can attempt to spot him. That'll be a -2, -1, -3 total. Kowalski's a 5, so that's a 2. 0 spots him too. And that is Soldat Graf trying to come up the right flank with he's a regular rifleman. All right, Lozano will try to do some spotting here. He can't see him because of the trees. Can't see him. Yeah, he can see him because of the trees. There's only a 1 hex blind spot, but the range is 6. He can see him. It doesn't touch the rocks, so Lozano will try to get to him. He's a +1, -2. He needs a 3. And he got a 3. So we see Soldat Winkler, and he is also a regular rifleman. And Lozano will also try to spot in the trees. Oh, Graf is already spotted. So that's it for spotting because these guys are still blocked by the trees and distance. So we're done. It'll be blue impulse, and we're going to evade 5, and we're going to clutter up this hex here a little bit. Alright, and blue can attempt to spot, but he's behind the trees, so he will not be able to spot anybody. Okay, that's the end of Impulse 1. Impulse 2. Things could get interesting here because we have aimed fires going on. And it's evade 6-5 for him. 5 has him evading up into the rocks. Nobody can see him there. Don't think either one of these guys can. That's a range issue. Yeah, it needs to be blocked by all that. And I'm pretty sure Lozano is blocked. Yeah. So they can't see him. He can't see them. 3, 4, 5. They could, but there's a 1 hex difference here. So that's blocked by that. See, he's scot free. This guy is evade 6-5, so he's going to move up to here. And I want to see if he can attempt to spot anybody. He's a 4. -2, -4 for him, so he needs a 0 to spot him. Doesn't. Range of 4 to him, that's a -2, but he doesn't get the -2 modifier for darkness because he's in the illumination now, so he needs a 0 or 2. 0 to 2 to get that. Oh, +1 too, a 0, 3, because the range now. 9, he doesn't see him. Winkler, evade 6. We'll come down here. Let's see if he can see anybody. Oh, I got ahead of myself. 4. Yes, he could attempt to spot him. -2, 0 to 2. Okay, now we get the Winkler. Winkler can attempt to spot. He can attempt to spot him, but not him, and not him. So Winkler is a 5. Attempt to spot Stubbs, -2, -4. So he needs a 0 or a 1. Doesn't see him. He's closer on this one. So he needs a 0 to 2. And he gets to see Kowalski. So Kowalski's now spotted. All right. Also, and this goes for Winkler too. I think Winkler could have tried to spot him, or not Winkler, them. Yes, that's a range of 5 now. So those guys also 5, -2, -4. He needs a 1. There's 2 of them in there. We'll roll twice. First for the gunner, second for the A gunner. And this guy needs zeros. First for the gunner, second for the A gunner. Okay, good. That didn't hurt then. And this guy's evade 6-5. So he's going to come up here and share this, getting off of the ridge. And he will attempt to spot also. Stubbs, -4. Yes, -4. And he is a 5, so he's a 1. No. Kowalski, it'll be a 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, and 2. You get a 3, no. And these guys up here will be a 0 or 1. And doesn't see either one of those. So red's done their impulse. Our impulse too. Now we got some aimed fire going on. And a range of 5. We can do that. He can aim fire. So Stubbs is going to start out with him. He's a 5. Firing an M1 rifle. That's a 0. And we are evading in the open. -1, so it's a 4. -2 for darkness is a 2. So he gets a shot for 2. And he gets a 1. Wow. And we're going to take a hit. And we got a bad wound. So we'll bring down a bad wound. And because I didn't specify, we're just going to go for the first guy. We'll return that to deck. Bring down conduct back. Bad wound. And we're going to roll for a wound check. And that's going to be a He is a 5, 2, 3, 4. Rolls a 5, so he's going to go down 2. All right, that's a good move. Now Stubbs is done, but he can attempt to spot. But there's no one for him to spot right now. Kowalski aimed fire. Impulse 2. We're allowed to fire. He also is going to fire. He's going to go after. We got choices here. We got this guy. Well, we can't see him, so we don't have choices. We're going to go right on after him. He's a range of 4. We'll go after Soldat Graf. And range of 4 with an M1 is also a 0. Evading in the open is a -1. In the dark, -2, 3. He is a 4. Yes, so he's going to have a 1 shot for 1. And he, wow, we are getting the rolls today. And he hits Graf. Graf gets a light wound. So let's bring a light wound down. And a duck back. And discard that. We're going to roll. He is at 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. He goes down 2. All right. So we're starting off well here. Now he can also try to spot. And he can see him. So Kowalski is a 5. Yes. And evading in the open to +1. -2 for darkness is a -1. So he needs a 4. And that's range of 4. So he gets +1, +2, -2, 0, 4. So we're rolling for 4. 9 doesn't see him. Lozano. Lozano has an aimed fire. He cannot see there. He can see there, but he's not spotted. Cannot see there, cannot see there. So he can just spot. He's going to try to spot him. That's a range of 4, +1, evade +1, darkness -2, 0. He needs a 4. Rolls an 8, doesn't see him. Connor, same thing. He can't see, can't see. Will not be able to see him. I played this before where we have it's still the darkness is there, so no, he can't spot him. So he's just going to sit tight. Now the guy's up here in our gun. We have Thomas, and we have a range of, as long as they have 5, they can see them. Yes, they can. They can see them. They can't see them. So we're going to go after. We're going to go after Groff, and that's a range of 5 with an M1919. That's a +1. He's now a duck back in the open, so it's 0, +1, -2 is a -1. He uses his TQ, which is 7, so we need a 6, and we're rolling 4 dice to accomplish that. 2 hits, 3 hits, and good we didn't get low ammo. So first hit will be a light wound. Second hit, bad wound, so 3, 3, 4, 5. He got one more. And a light wound. So that's going to be 5 right there. So he will be gone. So we're not even going to roll the morales. You got to draw all 3 cards anyway. So he is just a regular soldier, so we get 1 victory point. We'll add that in right now, and we'll put a KIA right there. One down. Okay. So they can attempt to spot if they can see anybody. They can see him. There's a one hex blind spot there. So he's a 7. Range of 5 is 0. Darkness minus 2 is 5. Evading in the open 6. Sees him. And it's a dummy. So far we're doing alright. And I don't think they may be able to spot them too. That's a hex side. I think they can spot them. Yes, so it goes along the hex side so it doesn't get into the trees. So he can attempt to spot them. But that's a range of 6, wasn't it? Yes, can't see him. Alright. Blue. He's evading 5-6. So it'll be a 6 turn this time. He's going to come down into here. He's going to attempt to spot. 4 is a +1. -2 for foxholes. Is a -1. -2 for darkness. -3. So we need a 1 to see stubs. A 1 to see Kowalski's already spotted. A 3 to see Lozano because he's they're now in the illuminated area. Doesn't see him. And we can't see Connor yet because of the difference here. But he can attempt to see these guys. They'll be -2, -4. He needs a 0. And he sees neither one of them. Impulse 3. Turn 1. Red. He's going to evade 6, coming up onto the hill. He will attempt to spot stubs. That's a +1. -2 is a -1. -2 for the foxhole. -3, so he needs a 1. Doesn't see him. Same thing for Lozano. Doesn't see him. I think he can now attempt to see Connor. Yes, he can. That'll be a -4, 0. And up here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 +1 for distance, -2 for trees, -2 for darkness is a -3. He needs a 1 for each. Gunner first. 0 sees or Gunner Thomas and sees them both. He doesn't see the guys in the foxhole, but he sees our guys, a man in the machine gun, probably because we fired last turn, and of course there's muzzle flash and all that good stuff. So he's done. Red down here, bad wound, duck back, turns to a hidden or hide. He could still attempt to spot though. He is -4, and he needs, oh boy, 5, 2, -4. He needs a 0 and a 3. Doesn't. And that's going to be it for him. Charlie's turn. We have aimed fire on them, but this is sequence 3, so, I mean impulse 3, so nothing's going to happen. Oh, we'll attempt to spot. Stubbs is going to look at him. He's a 5, 4 for distance. No, 5, 6 for distance, 7 for evading, 5 for darkness. Doesn't see him. He can also attempt to spot this guy now. He's a 5, +1 for distance is 6, -2 for evading the trees, or is it -1 for evading the trees is a 5, and -2 for darkness is a 3. Doesn't see him. Kowalski going to do the same thing. Try to spot him. +1, +2, -2, 0. Needs a 5. Doesn't see him. Going on a 6 run here. And I'm going to attempt. Oh, she doesn't need to spot him. He's already seen. Getting a little lost here. +1, -1 is 0. -2 for the trees. Kowalski is a 5. 0 spots him. And another dummy. So the first wave is just a scouting group, and we've already put one of those down. pretty badly. He'll probably be combat ineffective the rest of the time. And we killed one, and we got one left standing. So that's it. We don't need to do any more with Charlie. Blue's done. So that's the end of Impulse 3. Go to Impulse 4. Charlie. Evading 5 this time. Comes back up here. Got a little hot up there on the ridge. Decided to come down here. Um, and he's bad wound hide, so he can't do anything except spot. He can attempt to spot, but they're already spotted and there's a blind hex on them, so he can't spot anybody. This guy can see them, but he's looking for 0 and then a 3. Doesn't get it. End of turns. Let's walk through the sequence of play. End of turn. All grenades, none. No medics. No plan orders. No smoke. No waiting characters. Remove all orders. Reset the initiative track. Okay. And reset the initiative track. Okay, we've done that. Now we're going to get my brain about me here. Um, Place all enemy cards that are on the initiative track in the enemy discard pile. Same with the friendlies. Reset impulse marker to 1. And not last turn, set turn target in the next turn. And return to step 1. And on step 1, um, we're going to put the reinforcements out on the afterwards. So we got our orders done first. We do not currently have cards in our hands, but we do. We don't add any cards. We didn't do any planning. Cards in excess of 5 are discarded. Player must now play. I'm an idiot. I forgot the fire. That's all right. It's too late now. And it really doesn't matter. He's in behind the hill. Probably wouldn't be able to be seen. Definitely wouldn't be able to by him. Probably would have been able to by him, but it's too late now. Maybe they were distracted. Got to quit being in a hurry. Oh boy, I need to end this video too. That's the end of turn 1. Thanks for joining. I really kind of got scattered at the end of that one. Don't know why.